All right. Welcome back, lovely viewer, to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock. Last time, we got a lot of grout, which is still smelting. Managed to set up automatic processing, composting of leaves. So made this little platform up here. We got all the seeds we could want. For convenience sake, I think I'll set up a similar little mechanism to this with our iron. So let's get some chests. Get us 2 hoppers. Let's get 2 more chests. Ooh, that's a little bit more than we need, but that's okay. So we do come across a problem. If we try to craft a normal furnace, we have slab furnace. Instead, we need to compress our cobblestone blocks, like so. Leave it single compressed will do the trick. There we go. We have our vanilla Minecraft furnace. I'm probably just going to put this downstairs. I say, despite not having any kind of stairs, only a water flow. And there. Let's put all this grout up in here. The flint to repair my mattock. Go up to this dirt. Let's grab a good bit of this charcoal. This wood. Let's take some of this coal as well. I should probably save up the coal coke, but I kind of don't have a lot of charcoal going on right now, so I'm just going to swipe the coal coke from our coke oven down here. This shall burn nicely for a nice long time. Oh, you go back down there. Put our coal coke in there. That should be enough to suffice for quite a while. All right, we have our seeds. We need to get a bit more dirt to grow our crops. But, oh yeah, we also need our forge hammer. Get another bucket. This last episode, we used our bucket to create a liquid transfer node. All right. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4 from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Let's start working on our crops. So we're going to need a few more tools to do this properly. Now, dear viewer, you may be saying, why would we need to do that? Just till the soil, grow the plants. Well, we're not just going to use any method to grow our plants. No, no. We're going to use agricraft to grow our crops. This will allow us to breed stronger, more bountiful seeds. So our crops will grow faster, they'll produce more, and they can easily be harvested with a right click. It's a little bonus. So fill a small plus shape like this. Get a bunch of wood. I get some sticks. I'll craft our sticks into a 2x2 to get crop sticks. Also need something called a seed analyzer. So it needs wood, a slab, some glass. Do I have any glass, though? Yes, I do not have enough glass, though. How tragic. Fortunately, we have our handy-dandy chicken stick to save the day. Some seared brick. Craft that. Put this away in here. This away there. So a stack of grout. That's 16 seared brick. We need to make a large sort of bowl shape with the seared brick to make a smeltery, although we need a few other parts as well. Don't worry about that once we get that all smelted out. Take our glass, make some paints. Take our cobblestone, get ourselves a slab. Take our wood. Something like so. Missing here. Ah, one of the slabs needs to be made of. Okay. I'm too lazy to take all that stuff back out, so I'm just going to make another crafting station. I'll place it right here. And oh, I already had some over there. I feel kind of silly. Well, no doubt we'll use it eventually. This gives us a seed analyzer. I'll put it right here. You can stick any type of seed into here. And then it's an agricraft seed. Now, to grow agricraft seeds, we need to plant them on crop sticks. Just like this. And grow like this. So when this pumpkin plant is fully grown, it will spread over to there. And we're going to need a lot of fertilizer. So I'm going to go ahead. We're not going to use bone meal, but we're going to use forestry from Minecraft's fertilizer, which is which is ash. No, there's another way to craft it. Shapeless crafting. I thought there was another way to do it. Ah, yes. You take sand and some apatite, which we should have a little bit of. Oh yeah, I've got quite a good bit of. So we're just going to hammer this down into sand. So the reason why we're growing pumpkin crops first is so that we can use it to compost much more effectively. So we don't have to use tools to shear down trees. We can just drop our pumpkins in, harvest them with a right click. There we go. But we want to make sure they reach their full potency. As you saw when we analyzed pumpkin seeds, told us growth was 1, gain was 1, and strength was 1. So growth is just how fast it grows. Sorry. Growth is just how fast it grows. Gain is how much it produces. And lastly, strength is not really used in this mod pack. It determines how effective clipping the clippings taken for the plants will spread, but we're not really worried about that. I'm probably not going to take any clippings, but here we go. We have a bunch of fertilizer. It acts just like bone meal. Believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg with how much we'll need. Let's check in on our pumpkin. Ah, splendid. See, it's already started to grow. Spread. Let's do this. Just get this start here. Put it so. Fortunately, we have enough wheat seeds. We can just put them in like this. So the reason why we're putting them in this sort of plus shape is that they're more likely to mutate and get stronger in a arrangement like this. So these are all ones. In previous mod packs I played with this mod, my buddies and I would have it. They would just spread around a long ring, and it took forever. Okay, let's analyze our seeds for our pumpkins here. They're all still ones. Not too much of a surprise there. So even though they spread, they didn't increase. But now that we have 4 going on to 1, they are much more likely to improve. Right, let's check down with our dirt. Have carrot seeds. Carrot seeds might be nice to grow. Space is kind of at a premium though. But carrots are a good crop to grow because you don't have to cook them up to get good food from them. Oh, I see. I believe it was you had to plant them, break them, then you craft them? Yes, okay. Because the seeds were not for Minecraft, so they couldn't be put in there. Carrots don't normally have seeds, but agricraft you can get carrot seeds like that. Looks like our pumpkins have spread. Alright, let's check out these seeds. There we go. Growth is up to 2, gain is 4, strength is 3. So we're just going to replace one of the old seeds. Dump our bad seed out. And continue the process. You can do this for every single crop, even the ones added by other mods, such as Ham's Harvest. So, as you can see, we have a ludicrous amount of seeds. Not all of these are used for agricraft, but it is still kind of an ordeal. So ideally, I want to have all of these at 1010, but it's okay if I have to settle for just the bare necessities, the plants I want to use the most of. I'm not going to lose any sleep over having 1010 mustard seeds, anything like that. There'll be plenty of time in this mod pack to get that. There we go. Don't want any monsters to interrupt our gardening. Well, okay, cool, yeah. These are spread already again. Let me place the crop sticks here. Okay, while that's doing that, let's check up on our grout. Honestly, let's stow away some of these seeds that we aren't using right now. Let's work on building our little underground area. I say as if there is ground to build under. So this area is going to be kind of big and open, which is going to make it ideal for lots of our machines. There you go. Let's move that one crafting station down here. Still got a lot of grout to go. Let's make a stairway down here so that we're not having to take the water express. No, let's do it. Let's make it solid. Let's do it like this. Go. Let's give this a nice solid wall. I think that will look a bit better than just having a staircase in the middle of the floor. It's off to the side. Kind of makes you see the room open up. But what do I know? Here we are. So now at the very least, it's easier to get to. Right, let's check on our crops. Carrots are growing nicely. Pumpkins. They're getting some numbers. Our wheat, though, is thriving. So let's get rid of the weakest one. Let's get our carrots right here. Yep, there we go. Then we'll go back down to building. It's probably going to be a bit more of a slower paced episode, but that's okay. Not every episode can be massive leaps in progression. If anything, the pace which we acquire new things is probably going to slow down quite a lot as we move forward. Yep. It's not going to have the problem of suddenly flickering back and forth in color whenever you jump. Another thing I should mention that I'm probably going to have to do at some point is I'm going to probably have to build very far from these islands. So right now, we are in a deep ocean biome. And despite the appearance, other biomes do exist in the world, and some of them are important for certain functions. So, for example, wolves can only spawn in a forest, so we'd have to find a forest for there. And if we are to get certain types of hives for forestry for Minecraft bees, we will need to go to those biomes. I've actually done a little bit of research on it. You need to use something called a scented hive, or an artificial hive. Artificial hive, use silk mesh, hay bale. You put in a barrel of seed oil, put it around some flowers, and it could potentially become a real hive. But you have to be in the right biome for it. Let's check on our plants. Okay, let's check. Carrots. Carrots are growing strong. Some more dirt down over here. I'll probably have something a bit more official and nice looking for our farm, but right now I'm working on building space, so we can worry about making things look nice later. But that is going to be a goal, making things look nice, because it's one thing to survive, but we don't just want to survive here on this island. We're going to thrive. We'll have everything we could ever want here. Technology, magic. most importantly, bees. Yep, there we go. Okay. Suppose this room is probably big enough now. Let's work on closing her up. So, once we get this smeltery set up, we'll be able to make tinker's tools out of metal, which is going to be really good, but we are going to be at a bit of a problem. We can certainly upgrade and make our basic tools out of metal now, but we won't be able to make the advanced tools without the use of a tool forge, I believe it's called. Yes, but the use of a tool forge, which will require dense refined iron plates or terra steel. So dense refined iron comes from steel plates, which we need to use a metal former, which requires presses and all sorts of craziness. It's further down a tech line, or it will require terra steel, which is an endgame resource. Well, not endgame for like the mod pack, but like endgame in terms of the mod's progression resource from Botania, which is a mod that involves magical flowers. It says it's magic, but it basically works like a tech mod, but instead of having like machines, you have glowy things and flowers. So it's pretending to be a magic mod, but it's a tech mod, essentially, with how it's structured. Which you make like sort of contraptions out of the various flowers that Botania grows. I don't know too much about it. One of my friends, he's very knowledgeable in Botania, but whenever I played a mod pack with him, he was usually the one to do that, so it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for me. Alright, let's see here. Yep, our wheat seeds are coming along nicely. Yep, there we go. Let's check the dirt. Almost out of leaves. So let's get some more leaves. Just make a iron shears, because we have enough iron. I can just get a little bit more if I really need it, which I think that's going to be the case, but you never know. So eventually we'll have our own little pumpkin patch. So we can just right-click a bunch of pumpkins, shove them in there, and not have to worry about it. But it still takes a fair bit of time to process those pumpkins down into dirt. All these leaves. Oh, there goes iron shears. Let's make another one. be enough leaves for a while. Dump some of these leaves off because it appears my no, never mind. My inventory is not full. I just wasn't picking those up for some reason. Go. Nice amount of crop sticks going. So I do have some plans for our garden crops. So progressions for agricraft is to crossbreed certain different types of plants to get new types of plants. You do that to get different types of flowers, to get different types of dye. I was thinking, easy way we can start decorating and get into the Yume Nikki vibe is to have like a rainbow garden of these crops. I think we get something like that made. Maybe do like a little montage, brief moment where we stop and reflect upon our work. I think that would look pretty cool. Show just how far we've come along. I mean, if you look, you'd only look at the thumbnail to see how far we've progressed. I created a separate world where I flew to creative, took a picture of Skyblock spawn to use for the thumbnail. That's all we started with, and now look at us. It looks this place looks nearly cozy. Okay. Do this. I'm honestly considering maybe trying to do small playthroughs of Yume Nikki, Yumi Nikki, but the problem is they're not that good spectator sports. You're essentially watching some dude wander around in an abstract maze, which, I mean, I suppose there are some people who would enjoy that. There's not like any like progression to it. Not a whole lot of, like skill or creativity being shown. I mean, it's just, oh, this guy is good at finding his way around because he's played it longer. Maybe I could do a guided tour of certain worlds I really like. I do have a few worlds in Yume Nikki that I think are kind of underrated and I really like them. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you would watch that sort of thing. Right. Here we go. There we are. Nice big cobblestone room. Very pretty. Okay. Let me get my quest book. See what all exactly we need to build to satisfy it. So, from nothing. Oh, cobble. Huh, it's odd. I did make the crucible. There we go. Put some more cobble back in here. Because our smeltery, or Tinker's Construct, doesn't use coal or anything like that. Instead, it uses, wait a minute. No. Instead, it uses lava. So we need a controller. We need 2 smeltery drains, seared tank, a few other things. So let me get some glass for the seared tank. There we are. Let's pop this bad boy in there like that. Sorry. Oh yeah, you have plenty of coal coke in there. Alright, so I believe smeltery drain. It's built like this. That's a casting table. We're going to need one of those anyway. We need a casting basin as well. Need 2 drains. Need 1 controller. Need 2 drains. The seared tank. Which will be 1 glass. Surrounded by seared bricks. Just so. Let's stow some things away in here. Yeah, let's remove the floor here. Take this. Fill up 4 in here. Let's make it another 4 wide. 3, 4. So this could be any number of different shapes to work. It will need to be somewhat large, as we'll soon see. Right. There we go. Let's see, more bricks coming along. Well, that's going to be it for now. Let's put a controller right here. Let's put a seared tank right here. A drain here, drain here. Let's do our casting basin here. Casting table there. Our faucets there. We just need to build her up. I don't think this is quite big enough, unfortunately. Let me see. Let me check the book. Right, my smelting. Construction. Okay. I think I need to push it back a little bit. Or no, I'll push it forward some. There we go. All right. Get some chests down here. This is going to be a place where we'll need them. All right. I'll stow some of this stuff in here while I wait for the rest of that ground to cook up. Light this little spot up because I don't want any creepers existing on my island. All right. Where are my crop? Oh, I put my crop sticks in here, didn't I? Yep, there we go. All right. Pumpkin. Wheat. Carrot. Grab some more fertilizer. Going to see which one. You. No, we don't need that. Check on our dirt. Getting quite a lot more room to grow things. Right now we're still in the phase of trying to level up these seeds. I think this is a good stopping point for now. Not too much progress made. We made this nice room. Got most of our grout cooked up. Or not most, but a good bit. I'd say about like half, because I made 9 stacks of grout. Yeah. Progress on the island is going quite well. Thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.